I wanted to talk quickly about the TikTok ban. And the reason I wanted to talk about the TikTok ban is that as I have had a chance to connect with a lot of people on this platform, I've also learned that a lot of people are not necessarily informed about the ban and what it likely means to you as a TikTok user. I think a lot of people believe and may be hoping that the ban does not actually take place on the 19th. And while I share your optimism, as we get closer and closer and closer to that date, I have to be honest with you, it does appear that the TikTok ban is going to go in effect, at least certainly for a short period of time, if not indefinitely. And so there's a couple of things that I want to kind of do to update you on that from the
This app has been banned from the App Store. Attempting to use this app on a device which has been unauthorized could be constituted as a federal crime. If this app is on your device and non-compliant with the federal ban, please report this to local authorities. Again, this app has been banned and should not be used on devices in the United States.
From the best knowledge that I have, but also bust through some of the myths that I see as people comment and share information with me on the platform. And the number one piece of misinformation that I think I want to share is that I think there is a perception that yes, TikTok is going to be banned, but that it will only be not available on the App Store. Who remembers Flappy Bird? Flappy Bird was this incredible social meme where this app was taken off the App Store. People still had it on their phones. They could still use it. People were paying thousands of dollars for a phone with Flappy Bird on it. And I think people might be under the impression that if they have TikTok on their phone, it will still work after the ban. Unfortunately, there is no evidence to suggest that that is actually the case. In fact, during the Supreme Court oral arguments, the lawyers for TikTok were pretty candid that the ban itself also applies to the suppliers and sort of back end of TikTok. So it's not just the app. It's not just your phone. There's a host of service providers that provide things like bandwidth, services, back end software. All of those things go into your TikTok experience. And unfortunately, those providers are also forbidden from supporting TikTok in the United States. Number two, I think there's a lot of people that have suggested maybe if you use Android or maybe if you use a VPN that you will still be able to use and post from TikTok or watch those videos. Unfortunately, there's nothing to suggest that that is actually going to be the case. And the third piece is that you as a user have nothing that you can do. And I have to tell you, I think this is perhaps the most significant piece of disinformation. As a user and as a citizen of the United States, you do have the ability to make an impact here. If TikTok is important to you, it's very important that you take action now, today. I would recommend that you reach out to your elected officials. It's very easy to reach out to your congressperson, to your senator, and to let them know how it impacts you. But the more personal you can be, the better. The final part that I would say here, having understood and now seeing TikTok from a creator perspective, one of the most significant and harmful effects to the TikTok ban will be the many thousands of TikTok creators who have made this part of their life. I'm sure you follow people who mean a lot to you. Maybe they have a small business. Maybe they have a channel that you really, really like. Maybe they have, a voice that you enjoy listening to. Unfortunately, there's no evidence to suggest that after the ban, TikTok is obligated to support those creators. What that means specifically is if they have a TikTok shop, or if they have the content creator program, or TikTok gifts, there's really no evidence to suggest that they're going to get any of the rewards, or even more importantly, the money that they are owed from those programs. Literally, thousands of small businesses could be left hanging. It could impact thousands of people. So I highly recommend that you reach out to your local, state, and national elected officials and let them know how important this app is to you. The final piece I will say is the following. I believe there's a significant and real reason that people, specifically in the government, want to ban this app. And that is because of the truth. On my channel, The Unraveling, part of what is essential is twofold. Number one, we use fiction to create stories to tell you about what's happening. But also, when necessary, I'm not afraid to tell you the truth, especially if it means keeping you safe. TikTok is being banned because officials in your government do not want you to have a community and to identify what is the truth. And that is very dangerous. This is not a conversation about your data. Google, Facebook, and the biggest software companies in the United States have always taken your data and commoditized it for their own profit. And many of these companies have lost your data in massive breaches. But these companies were not removed from the App Store. They were not banned, and they barely got a slap on the wrist. I think we all know what's happening here. TikTok has created a pipeline of information to create communities. In a time of great uncertainty, that is dangerous to an increasingly uncertain future in our government. And it is dangerous if we simply sit around and do nothing. Having said that, I am not entirely sure that TikTok will be here in a month. In fact, every day I'm a little bit less sure. And so I am going to go ahead, because there has been a significant response, and let you know that we are going to go on YouTube in the Unraveling. Didn't want to do that, and I'm generally change averse as it is, but you can find us on TikTok. You can also find us on YouTube at Unraveling Series. So please, if you're concerned about losing connection, I am going to ask you to go ahead and go over to YouTube, find us at the Unraveling Series. Right here, you'll see that's where you go. Connect with us there, subscribe there. We will use that as an archive for the Unraveling series, but also as a future connection point if necessary. Annoy the hell out of your elected officials, whether that's the dog catcher, the mayor, the city council person, your congressperson, your senator, your governor, maybe even the president of the United States. Let them know how important it is to you. This was a bipartisan effort to take this app away from you. So let's make a bipartisan community effort to make sure that they don't.
Attention, your device has been logged as using the app Tik Tok. Your device has been logged using the app Tik Tok. Use of this app on your device will be logged, as well as your IP address, and this will be reported to local authorities.